Hey everybody, this is Cat-Based Games, and welcome back to Crossout with a review on the new Fidget and Imp machine guns, which we promotional users already received to our accounts, even though they are not yet craftable as of now. As we already knew, we need 2 piercers and for the Fidget and 2 Fidgets for the Imp, so we will have to get at least a Fidget in order to get the Imp and etc. So the piercer, we already know the stats, 555 power score, 3 bars of damage, the rest of the bars are basically the same. I do not have these guns on the spreadsheet yet, so I don't actually have the raw stats of these. 94 points of durability, 3 points of energy drain, and 176 grams of mass. And across the board, we all have 3 points of energy, and all of these guns have the power score based on those energy points. So the Fidget goes by plus a half a bar of damage, and from 94 to 125 points of durability, and we go from 176 kilograms of weight to 220 on the Fidget. So for 220, we go to 280 on the mass of the Imp, and from the 125 health, we go to 190. And we go to almost 4 bars of damage. It's not quite full, but it's still kind of effectively, it is 4 bars, because the Imp perk is increased damage dealt by all rapid fire machine guns by 5%, and these 3 are all accounted as the rapid fire machine guns. And then we got the Fidget that each projectile that hits an enemy slows down weapon heating by 30%. This only affects the specific Fidget itself, it does not stack among the other guns. And basically, whenever you hit a shot, that shot will only have 70% of what heat it would normally generate. That's basically what the perk does. So 30% slower overheating, as long as you keep on hitting people. So first up, we're gonna go do a little damage test with the single piercer. And I actually did these tests already a little bit. I had some failed recordings because of how my voice is cracking up, because I'm still sick. We're doing 7 damage per single shot, and per tick we can do 21 damage, so we do 3 shots per tick. Then we go to the Fidget, which still does 7 damage, but it deals 15 on a double shot, and we do 22 on a triple shot. There we go. Then we go to the Imp. Imp, of course, is the heaviest. We go to 23 damage with a single shot. The thing that makes the Imp unique, if we start stacking it, of course, is when it starts doing more damage. So, with the because of the Imp, we're gonna actually have to test bigger loadouts. So, triple piercer. So from 21 damage, we go to 63 damage per tick. So, gotta roll up again. 63 damage. And then with the Fidget, we go to 22 times 3 is 66. And we were, again, we're gonna be comparing this all to the Imp, because the Imp, a single one did 23 damage. But if we stack, we got an additional 10% of damage on each gun, which is quite a considerable output. And that raises the expected 69 damage to a bit higher. We're putting it up to 74. So we got plus 5 damage just from having the damage ability stack. Comparing those numbers to a 5-gun setup, so we're gonna go with the piercers again, and we are actually gonna have to remove 3 radiators to do so. We get some even more interesting numbers. So with 5 piercers, we deal a total of 105 damage. And if we change out 1 piercer to a single Imp, we actually get quite a bit of damage increase. So from 105, these guns will now do one. Actually, we have to probably align 111. So adding a single imp has increased the damage, like from a piercer to imp, has increased the damage by 6 points per tick, which is actually not bad for a gun as rapid fire as these. So changing up to the Fidget. And we're gonna go for full Fidgets here. So we're gonna go preparing the 111, do a full set of Fidgets, because the legendary is gonna be expensive, so we're gonna be looking at how the full set of epics will perform. Which 109 damage and a long overheating time, that's the bigger advantage of the Fidgets. They're quite powerful actually as well. Like, there's really nothing to complain about these guns. And these bigger guns are really just going to be better at higher tiers because they're tougher and just have a little bit more bang. So from 109 and 111, we go to 135 on the full sets of imps. But I want to do one more test here, which is the actual whether these have diminishing returns. So we got plus 6 damage from 105 to 111 when we added one of these guns. So we would expect 117 damage, so plus 6 again if we added a second one. Okay, we're doing a little bit weird here. Let's align ourselves. 117, so still plus 6 damage. Then we're gonna add a third one. So that would be 123. Okay, here we go. I did see a 123. There we go, 123. But then we went from a 129 and a 135. I think it actually, they perfectly add 6 damage every single time. Which is also kind of interesting. Yep, 129. Alright, now using Fidgets. How much damage increase do we get from upgrading a Fidget to an imp? So from 109 on the 5 Fidgets. These are actually tests that I have not done yet. I did some of these tests already, but these right here I have not done yet. So 109, we go to 114. So that is plus 5. And it kind of makes sense because the Fidgets do 1 more damage than piercers across a tick. So from plus 6 to plus 5 does make sense. And 120, actually that means we actually get plus 6 damage, so we're actually like right between that edge. But to really do the test easier, we're gonna just add another one. I think it's gonna be 125, and then the fourth one is gonna be 130. Those would make the most sense here. Yep, there we go, 125. You really notice, like, these guns, once you have one of each of them, like 4 or 5 of these guns, you really start to have like a really good loadout with imps. You really start to make a difference. Yep, there goes to 130. But how about 4 guns? It's gonna be my last comparison. So it goes to plus 5. So in theory, if we have the base damage with 4 of these guns and we add a imp, it will do plus 4 damage instead of plus 5. So 88. And then we add an imp. Can move in again. It's really taking a long time. You should try to draw it, but at least I can keep on rumbling about. 91. So that's actually +3. So we need a 95 here to be certain that this works. Otherwise, we do not have diminishing turns, then we just really have to like use 5 guns. Okay, we do have 95. Can we get a 99 then? By adding a third gun. And then 103 would be with 4 imps. If our tests are correct. 99. And then finally, the 4 imps. Will it be 103 or will it be 102? Oh, we did an increase of 3 damage points the first time. 104. Okay. So we actually somehow gained a 5th point of damage increase there. So it does help if you have more of these imps, then the impact becomes bigger. And that's actually kind of interesting, which actually make these imps guns quite cool weapons, although they are expensive. That said, the Fidget does not really combo well with the Piercer because of the difference in overheating time. So to show that, I will put one of them next to each other. And note that the Imp overheats just as fast as the Piercer. This is just a show of why you should only use Piercers with Imps, or use Imps, or use Fidgets, or use Piercers. And not combine Fidgets with the other 2 guns. You really notice the difference quite a bit. It becomes less once we actually miss shoot, of course. Then they actually will have the exact same overheating. This also means that these guns will actually start firing off the beat because at medium range, because you will be losing shots. This also means that the Fidget really has a big advantage if you use the Torero cabin, because the Torero cabin will increase the accuracy, which will reduce the like spread of the Fidget. And that's something really to take into consideration. And because of the RNG system, if you actually like have 5 of these, they will all overheat at a different time if they cannot hit all the shots. So let's say we're at this distance. And now they will overheat at different times. As you guys can see. It will still fire like normally. They have a similar overheat time, but the middle 2 clearly like miss more shots. Now the most center one is the one that's the slowest. You really start noticing the difference more and more and more. So whoever has OCD and wants his heat and his guns to all be equal, don't play the Fidgets. You're gonna hate that. But I really think that there's something with the Imp that's actually like makes it quite powerful. Because if you compare it to a, for example, quad aspect, we can hit, of course, you can tap fire them better, which makes it more useful like at distance because of minimum damage output. Quad aspect, of course, is 16 energy, but really don't do as much damage. We do 111 at its max. $112. Like, the Fidgets do quite a bit of increased damage there. And comparing that to a triple hammerfall. I mean, if we're using 15 energy anyway, we might as well use a triple hammerfall. Right? So this is gonna be the last comparison test because these are all the ballistic weapons really that we should be comparing. This one does do quite a bit more damage, but it is in slower ticks. Because it was like, they have a tick in between. So actually, I think the imps actually do a similar damage, and they take longer to overheat. That said, they actually have less range than hammerfalls. So, quick comparison. Imp has 2 blocks of range. Hammerfall, it says 1 block of range, but it actually performed better out of range than the imp because of the inaccuracy of those imps. But yeah, that's really all there is for this video today, guys. I will be making a video about a actual imp and fidget build, but all in due time. I will see you guys all later. See ya.